Sadly, acquiring fame doesn't leave you any less likely to suffer a tragedy. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 tragic celebrity love stories. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we'll be taking a look at the most heartbreaking stories of love and loss that showed us that celebrities are people too. Number 10, Patrick Swayze and Lisa Niemi. Patrick Swayze caused much swooning in his heartthrob roles in films like Dirty Dancing and Ghost. Lisa Niemi certainly didn't get with him for his stardom, though.
You found Lisa, or discovered Lisa, when she was working in your mother's dance troupe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You picked your mother's brightest student.
Yeah.
The pair met when they were teens. She even later directed one of his films, the prophetically titled One Last Dance. Swayze was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in 2007. His battle lasted only 20 months, and he died in 2009. Niemi expressed her deep pain after his passing, saying she had hoped the months leading to his death would have helped her come to terms with his diagnosis, but they had not. His fans certainly can relate, if only from a distance.
See ya. See ya.
Number 9. Grace Kelly and Prince Rainier III. This whirlwind romance is the stuff of fairy tales. Grace Kelly, famous star of such films as Hitchcock's Rear Window, was an American bombshell, and Rainier III, the love-seeking literal Prince of Monaco. In 1956, Kelly got her desired role of a lifetime and became his wife, and Princess of Monaco, in one of the most lavish and celebrated weddings of the 20th century. She stopped her acting career to devote herself to her marriage and raising a family.
Once my children were born here, I began to feel at home, and this is where my family is now.
The two stayed together until her death in 1982. Kelly was only 52 when she suffered a stroke while driving, and her car ran off the road. Number 8, Gene Wilder and Gilda Radner. This duo was a match made in comedic heaven. The high-spirited Saturday Night Live alum Gilda Radner married the famous Mr. Wonka in 1984.
Anything you want to do it, want to change the world, there's nothing to it.
The two met on the set of the thriller Hanky Panky. Radner later wrote of their first meeting that he made her heart flutter.
I'm the only one that believes you. I'm the only one that can help. Please let me. Stay here. I'll be right back.
The many laughs we assume they shared together only lasted a fairly short while, however. Gilda passed away in 1989 from ovarian cancer. Gene publicly expressed his anger and grief over her death, claiming that because of medical misdiagnosis, something could have been done to prevent her passing.
At this minute right here, now specifically, we're happy.
Number 7, Michele and Cory Monteith. This romance came straight from the small screen, to the joy of teenage shippers everywhere.
Did you put a mint in?
I didn't put a mint in.
For the kiss?
I just had pizza, so I had pizza breath.
Yeah, she was eating pizza and then kissing me.
Rachel Berry and Finn Hudson from Glee fell in love, as their characters, and as their real-life selves. Michele and Monteith began dating in 2012, but tragically never got their happy ending.
What they don't know is Cory and I are taking photos for our save the date for our wedding.
Save the date for our wedding.
Struggling with his dependency to drugs, Monteith succumbed to his addiction in 2013, dying of an overdose. His death broke Leah's heart and the hearts of everyone who loved him in Glee. The cast gave Cory a tearful and loving goodbye in their touching tribute to Finn in the episode The Quarterback.
Go to the ends of the earth for you to make you feel my love.
Number 6, John Lennon and Yoko Ono. The controversy behind their relationship followed Lennon and Ono right up until the day he died, December 8, 1980. Despite heavy blame from fans being placed on Yoko for the split of the Beatles, the famous couple's love persisted, and the two wed in 1969. In over a decade together, they created both beautiful, challenging music, as well as a son, Sean Ono Lennon. Before they were able to continue their lives together, Lennon was murdered by Mark David Chapman while walking out of the Dakota Apartments in New York City. We didn't have to imagine John and Yoko's love. It was for real. Number 5, Heath Ledger and Michelle Williams.
I'm so proud. I fall deeper and deeper in love with both my girls, and she's honestly the most...
After meeting on the set of Brokeback Mountain, Williams and Ledger fell head over heels for each other.
You may kiss a bride. And if you don't, I will.
Their romance was chaotic, but beautiful. And in 2005, Williams gave birth to their daughter, Matilda Ledger. Following that momentous event, their stressful relationship became too much for both, and the two parted ways. Yet they still remained close friends, particularly for the sake of their daughter. A few years later, though, all signs pointed to a reconciliation of the couple, but hopes of the beautiful couple reconnecting were lost when Ledger, like Cory Monteith, was found dead of a drug overdose.
It is a grisly scene.
There was no suicide note.
Did this role have anything to do with this?
Number 4, Pierce Brosnan and Cassandra Harris. They shared a bond, a life bond. Cassandra Harris had a role in Roger Moore's classic For Your Eyes Only in 1981.
When you're ready to leave, you can take my car.
Oh, that sounds like a dismissal. I was rather looking forward to breakfast.
She was already married to the dashing Pierce Brosnan, but through her, he met the producers of the Bond films. And later, well, you know. She also occasionally appeared in Brosnan's 1980s breakout TV show, Remington Steele. Tragically, Harris is the second woman on our list to have been diagnosed with ovarian cancer, the terrible disease that took her life in 1991. As if the death of his wife wasn't enough heartache, in 2017, his daughter Charlotte Brosnan died of the same disease that killed her mother. Number 3, Steve Irwin and Terri Irwin.
Here's a wonderful opportunity and the most incredible, wonderful, sexy guy I've ever met.
Australian Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, is one of the most celebrated and beloved animal experts of all time.
Woo! Here we go. He's gonna bite. He's like really grumpy now.
More than a decade later, his fandom is still trying to process the conservationist's sudden passing. While filming for his iconic TV show, which naturalist Terri also appeared on, Steve was killed when a stingray stung him in the heart. Terri and their 2 children, Bindi and Robert, continue to keep on his legacy through their work with animals and wildlife preservation.
Now for Bindi, making her dad proud is priority number 1, and for Terri, it's carrying on her late husband's legacy.
Terri has said that she hasn't even gone on a date since Steve's passing, as she's already had her happily ever after.
I haven't been out on a date, so I had my happily ever after, so I'm doing okay.
Number 2, Liam Neeson and Natasha Richardson. Some of the most tragic deaths come from seemingly innocuous accidents. While on a ski vacation near Montreal with her son Michele, film star Natasha Richardson decided to take a beginner's ski lesson. During the lesson, Natasha had a tumble in the snow, as she was able to tell her husband, Neeson. But horribly, the fall had caused an undiagnosed brain injury, which then caused her death 2 days later. 5 years after her passing, Neeson opened up about the heartbreaking details of her death, including the fact that they had made a pact early on in their relationship, that they would pull the plug if either of them ever became permanently incapacitated. Before we reveal our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Now, just 5 months after Brittany Murphy's tragic death from pneumonia and drug intoxication, her husband, Simon Monjack, has also died.
Do your eyes bother you?
No, why?
They bother me.
The hero was already immortal, Joe DiMaggio, baseball's retired Yankee clipper, who Marilyn would always call my slugger.
Number 1, Christopher Reeve and Dana Reeve. Christopher Reeve is justly famed for his iconic turn as Superman, but can also be remembered for his love for horses and, on another level, his wife Dana. In 1995, while competing in an equestrian show, Christopher was thrown off of his mount, leaving him quadriplegic.
And any one of us could get hurt at any moment. So that taught me a really big lesson about complacency.
He spent the rest of his life wheelchair-bound, but he and his wife continuously lobbied for the rights of those with spinal cord injuries. Christopher succumbed to his injuries in 2004, and a mere 2 years later, Dana passed away from lung cancer. The pair will always be remembered for their strong marriage and how they fought for the rights of others. Truly, super people.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.